It was a chilly autumn evening when the Crimson Carnival arrived in the small, sleepy town of Havenbrook. The townspeople were intrigued by the sudden appearance of the carnival, which had seemingly sprung up overnight. No one had seen or heard of such a thing before. The carnival's vivid red tents and swirling, dizzying lights cast an eerie glow over the otherwise dark streets. Rumors began to circulate about the mysterious carnival and its enigmatic performers. Some said they were supernatural beings, while others claimed they were mere mortals who had made a dark pact with sinister forces. As the townspeople whispered these stories amongst themselves, the anticipation for the opening night of the Crimson Carnival grew. On the night of the opening, the townspeople gathered at the entrance of the carnival, nervously exchanging glances. As the gates creaked open, they hesitantly stepped inside, drawn to the strange allure of the carnival's spine-chilling attractions. The atmosphere within the carnival was electric, with the air thick with the scent of burnt sugar and the sound of eerie laughter echoing throughout. The townspeople found themselves drawn to the various attractions, from the Hall of Mirrors, which seemed to reveal the darkest corners of their souls, to the ominous freak show, featuring contortionists and fire-breathers who appeared to be neither wholly human nor entirely monstrous. Among the crowd was a young woman named Amelia, who had come to the carnival with her friends. As they wandered through the attractions, Amelia could not shake the feeling that something was amiss. She was drawn to a tent at the far end of the carnival, hidden from view by the shadow of the Ferris wheel. As she approached the tent, she saw a sign that read Madame Zara, Seer of Secrets. Her curiosity piqued. Amelia stepped inside the dimly lit tent. The air was thick with the scent of innocence, and she could barely make out the figure of a woman shrouded in a dark veil. "Welcome, dear child," the woman croaked, her voice like the rustling of dried leaves. "I am Madame Zara, and I see you have questions. Questions about the carnival and its performers." As Amelia sat across from Madame Zara, she couldn't shake the feeling that the woman's gaze pierced right through her. The old seer began to reveal the dark history of the Crimson Carnival, telling Amelia about the sinister force that bound the performers to the carnival. "They were once ordinary people," she explained, "but they made a pact with a malevolent entity, trading their humanity for eternal life and unimaginable powers. They are now bound to the carnival, forced to wander from town to town, spreading darkness and despair." Amelia was horrified by the revelation, but couldn't help but wonder what had driven these people to make such a terrible pact. As Madame Zara continued her tale, she revealed that the performers had each sought the carnival's dark power for their own reasons. Some had been driven by greed, others by a thirst for power, and still others by a desperate desire for love or acceptance. But the price they paid was too great, Madame Zara warned. Their souls are forever bound to the carnival, their every action controlled by the dark entity they serve. Amelia's heart raced as she realized the danger the town was in. If the carnival was allowed to continue, more souls would be lost to the darkness. Determined to save her town, Amelia asked Madame Zara if there was any way to break the curse and free the performers from the carnival's sinister grip. The old seer hesitated, her eyes flickering with fear. "There may be a way," she whispered, "but it will be dangerous, and the consequences could be dire. You must find the dark heart of the carnival, the source of its power, and destroy it." With this cryptic warning, Madame Zara handed Amelia a small, ancient-looking amulet. "This will protect you from the dark forces that dwell within the carnival, but only for a short time. Use it wisely." As Amelia left Madame Zara's tent, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. She gathered her friends and shared with them the horrifying secrets she had learned. Despite their fear, they agreed to help Amelia find and destroy the dark heart of the carnival. Armed with the amulet, they began their search, venturing deeper into the carnival's twisted maze of tents and attractions. They encountered grotesque creatures and faced chilling horrors, all the while protected by the fragile power of the amulet. Finally, they found themselves at the center of the carnival, standing before a massive, blood-red tent. Amelia knew instinctively that this was where the Dark Heart resided. As they stepped inside, they were confronted by the carnival's malevolent master, a tall figure shrouded in darkness. His eyes burned with an unnatural crimson glow, and his voice was like the howl of 1,000 tortured souls. "You dare to challenge me?" he growled, his anger palpable. "You think you can break the curse that binds my performers to me?" With a deep breath, Amelia raised the amulet and spoke the ancient words Madame Zara had taught her. The amulet began to glow, casting a brilliant light that seemed to weaken the carnival master's hold over the performers. As the light from the amulet filled the tent, the performers began to awaken from their cursed slumber. They rallied around Amelia and her friends, their newfound strength growing with each passing moment. The dark heart of the carnival began to falter, and the sinister force that bound them all weakened. Together, they faced the carnival master, their combined power of force to be reckoned with. With a final surge of energy, they shattered the dark heart, releasing the captive souls and breaking the curse that had bound them for so long. As the dark heart was destroyed, the Crimson Carnival began to crumble. The once vibrant lights flickered and died, and the sinister red tents collapsed into dust. The carnival master, his power now broken, vanished into the night, his malevolent laughter echoing through the dying carnival. The performers, now freed from their eternal servitude, slowly began to regain their humanity. They embraced their newfound freedom with gratitude, forever indebted to Amelia and her friends for their bravery and sacrifice. And so, the town of Havenbrook was saved from the sinister grip of the Crimson Carnival. The story of the brave young woman who defeated the darkness would be passed down through generations, a reminder of the power of courage, friendship, and unity against the forces of evil.